Do you feel the pressure to grow your business, but doing so feels a bit like drowning? Welcome to Slow Growth Business, the show for business owners and leaders to quiet the noise and lead your business to success, one day at a time, slow and steady. If you feel your business is running you and you're ready to run it, you've come to the right place. Now, here are your hosts, business coaches Jimmy DeGroot and me, Kyle Bullock.
Hey everybody, welcome to our lovely podcast. I'm Jimmy DeGroot, that's Kyle Bullock. And hey Kyle, what are you working on today? What do you got going on with the fam? Tell us.
Today I'm going to the inaugural air races in Roswell, New Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Inaugural.
Huh?
They used to be in Reno, right?
They used to be in Reno for about 60 years. These air races. Imagine, if you don't know what the air races are, imagine NASCAR and Formula One and rally racing and motocross just all came together, and they all did racing all together on one weekend in one place. That's what this is, but it's in the sky. It's all of these different classes of airplanes coming together, and they race at incredible speeds. And so they left Reno last year. This is their first year in New Mexico here in my hometown of Roswell.
Yeah.
And I was blessed to be a part of helping them get here. So I'm gonna get to take my family today and go watch them and see the fruits of our labor for the last
Sounds
2 years.
good. Yeah. Something fun in Roswell, New Mexico. That's awesome. Hey, just folks, just a quick thing about our podcast. You know, Kyle and I, we produce this podcast because we love sharing with you guys and we love talking things through. We love talking uh, in a very open manner. And so, anyway, maybe because of that, and maybe because we have dozens of subscribers, that we don't have any big corporate sponsors or anything like that. So because we don't have corporate sponsors and we are solely sponsored by ourselves, Train Retail, that we don't always every single week nail out a podcast. Okay. And a lot of that is because we have priorities in our lives. And when Kyle is sick, like he was last week, and couldn't even put two words together, we say, hey, let's scrap it for the week. So um, I just want you to know that this is not going to be coming out every single week. It will be coming out 98.5% of every week, right? Or all of the weeks. But there, see, he just had to mute his cough right there.
I'm getting better.
Anyhow, and then as topics come up, and sometimes it seems like we kind of beat the same topic over and over again, but it's because it's important, and it's because what we're seeing actively in jewelry stores, uh, that needs to be addressed. And if it needs to keep coming up, we're going to keep talking about it and figuring out new ways to help you guys. And so anyway, I wanted to throw that out there so that don't get angry with us if we're not here for 1 week. Just go back and watch something else, listen to something else, right?
Yeah.
So
We got a catalog.
Anyway, hey, do you have a topic today, or otherwise I do?
Go for it, Jimmy. What you got?
I do, and we're going to turn this also into a training. I think is a good thing. You and I, you're a bench guy, okay, and I'm a bench guy too. When I can change watch batteries, and I can change watch bands, and so I sit at a bench for
You
that.
sat at a bench. And to be fair, I wouldn't call myself a great bench jeweler. I
No,
would say I have done it.
right,
Yeah.
right. So okay, so the progression of a lot of jewelry stores, a lot of jewelry stores is uh the guy or gal or husband and wife team, they had a little bench, they learned the trade, they learned how to size and fix stuff, and then they got they opened up a door, right? They had a shop, and well, I have to have a service counter where I can wait on people to do my repairs. And so maybe I have some jewelry in that service counter. Maybe I got it from Stuller or, or maybe it's stuff I bought over the counter and things like that. And a lot of jewelry stores have started this way as bench people. And so a lot of the times we get the question, we have stores that are doing a great volume in repair. How do we turn those repair customers into jewelry customers? In fact, that was my highest watched YouTube video over 10 years ago. Repair into sales, turning repairs into sales. It's got multiple, like 50 or 70,000 views. It's got a lot of views, maybe 25,000. I don't know. I can't remember anymore, but it was a lot. So anyway, let's just chat about that a little bit. And your store is a perfect example of what we're trying to achieve here. How do you guys turn that traffic where people coming in for prong repairs, sizing, etc.? How do you turn those into jewelry sales?
Well, I'm really interested in that video you did forever ago. So I'm gonna
I'm gonna
before
see
I
if I
give
can pull it
you
up.
my thoughts, what was the crux of that, and what would you say? Now that it could be that things have changed, but kind of what was your thinking when you made that video about how to get repairs turning into buying customers in jewelry?
And that was one of my first YouTube videos. And that's when I thought, hey, YouTube is really the way to go. I'm getting all these views. And now, of course, we don't get that many views, but that's okay. I mean, we're the people that are interested. The crux was, and I don't want to blow the whole thing right away, but it was, especially it was like, a lot of stores had Pandora at the time. And so they're coming in for repairs. They're coming in for these small $56 purchases. How do we turn those into jewelry sales? And the crux of it was start conversations, have conversations with people that are more than just what they came in for. Ask good questions, leading questions, show them, get involved. So I could keep going. I won't, but that was the crux of it. And I'll
Yeah,
keep going later when you bring more of that out of me. So,
and that takes a lot of time.
it does.
And that's not disparaging. I'm just gonna say that right off the bat, converting those kinds of customers who want repairs, batteries,
Hmm.
Pandora, yuck, you know, those
Yeah.
little low ticket sales, converting them into a buying customer to do it right means you got to really spend a lot of time asking key questions, developing relationships, and knowing that it won't immediately lead to a sale today.
Oh,
And
hey, I want to add one other thing. Um, we also sold coins.
oh wow.
And this is the margin in coins right
Okay.
there. All right.
Very good.
Those of you that are listening, I'm holding up a piece of paper sideways. That's the margin in coins. And that's a very, 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 very different customer.
Very,
Trust me. You
very.
can imagine. So anyway,
Yeah.
and the state quarters. I want state quarters because they're going to be worth something someday.
I want to say
All right.
this. My thinking recently has even evolved a bit on this. Okay, let's talk about for the jewelry store. You have jewelry sales, selling jewelry.
Hmm.
You have, which I'm going to include things like custom design and stuff in there. You have repair services, fixing jewelry. That's two. Then you have gold buying and gold selling. That's three.
Hmm.
Then you have watch batteries. Yuck. Those are four.
Hmm.
One,
Hmm.
two, three, four. Those are four different companies. They
Yeah.
are run, oh, those four things are run differently.
Right.
Those four
Right.
things have different customers. They're not the same.
You're
If you
right.
think about like a Venn diagram where you're going to have big circles and there's going to be a little overlap in the middle, the independent jeweler likes to live right there in the middle. They
Hmm.
go, I'm going to do all these repairs and I'm going to service all of these watches and it's going to lead to jewelry sales. And here in the middle, that's where I live. Is the battery customer can be a jewelry buying customer. And in that Venn diagram, you will be right a small percentage of the time because there's a little overlap there in the middle where all those big circles overlap.
Right.
But you will also be wrong about that most of the time because people who want a watch battery are not necessarily people who want jewelry. Now,
Right.
they're the tale of different businesses. And you can maybe make a case that the watch battery is kind of like the repair, but I want to keep them separate for now. Um, my point is this. First is if we want to convert those different kinds of customers into jewelry buying customers, we have to ask those key questions that you mentioned to find out if they're in the middle of that Venn diagram.
Mm-hmm.
Is the guy who wants to sell me his bundles of old scrap gold the same kind of guy who also wants to buy a diamond pendant?
Right. Right. Right.
Most of
Right.
the time, the answer is no. Okay, that's the Venn
Right.
diagram. But
Right.
sometimes the answer is yes. And the
Right.
sales training is how do we ask the key questions to find out who that person is?
Yep.
But most of
Yep.
the time, they won't be. And so that means you have to operate that business separately. And this is where I'll pause because I'll say most of the time when we work with jewelers, they treat all those things I mentioned, batteries, repairs, gold buying, jewelry sales, they treat it all as that it's one business. It's all under the umbrella of their jewelry store. It's all in the same
Mm-hmm.
building because all of those things are happening in the same building, but they
Yep.
are not the same business.
Right.
Watch sales are not the same business. It's not the same kind of thing. They require different measures and metrics to be successful. And
I never
so,
thought of it that way. I never
yeah,
thought of it.
I'm starting to get to a point where I'm going, we can work really, 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 really hard to try to convert
Yeah.
those different segments of customers into a jewelry buying customer.
Mm-hmm.
Or I could also work, if I'm going to offer all those services, I could work really, really hard to make those services independently successful. If I'm going to do repairs, I want repairs to be wildly successful on their own. If I'm going to do gold buying and gold selling, I want it to be wildly successful on its own without hurting the other areas.
Mm-hmm.
Which which approach is going to have the greater amount of success? Trying to convert everyone into a jewelry sale,
That's
or
frustrating.
which is
That's good.
frustrating and not going to
Yeah.
happen most of the time,
Right.
or working on the business in all those different areas to make them independently successful. And if you can't make them independently successful, then eliminating them from your business. Which of those
Oh,
approaches is better?
Outsville. I like number two.
And me too.
I like number two. It's a refreshing way to think of it because we have a tendency as independent jewelers to want to be everything to everybody, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the old fashioned way of doing it. And gosh darn it, we want to take care of everybody. So, um, yeah. So where do you go from there? I mean, how do you translate if I do want to treat them separately, but we're all still under the same building. We still have they're walking through the same front door, walking by the jewelry cases. How do we delineate?
So my staff did an experiment, and I applaud them for this. Um, and it requires a bit of judgment, not
Okay.
like mean judgment, but just kind of gauging customers. What they did was they have a log. Actually, it's the daily log that you train on. So
Mm-hmm.
they take this log about what's happening when the door chimes, what walked in, and they would write down who it was. And they started looking at just battery customers. So one of those Venn diagrams I talked about was watch batteries. And they really wanted to save watch batteries because I was not feeling so hot on it. And they go, we want to measure those customers because what I first proved was that watch batteries were not just a break-even affair. We were losing money doing it. And so, and I could talk about that another day, but they go, okay, well, we can convert them to buying customers. So what they did was they would write down in their daily log who was walking in, and they would see what kind of customers they were, what was their profile, who was the person, what were they like, what were their interests, asking these key questions. Then they would compare it to the jewelry buying customers that would walk in on those daily logs. Who are these
Okay.
people? Well, they built a profile of who these different customers were. So now we have a profile of a watch battery customer. We have a profile of a jewelry buying customer. They looked at them and they went, these are not the same person at all. The guy who wants a watch battery in our store, um, their average age was well over 65.
Yeah, I was going to say
Their
70. Yeah.
timepieces were Timexes and Casios, so they were not high-end pieces at all.
Yeah.
Not sliding them
At
at all.
best, Citizens and Seikos at best.
Right, at best,
Yeah.
at best.
Yeah.
And that's not to slight them. It's just to say
No.
when they looked at that profile, that person had no interest at all in jewelry. They had no occasions, no interest. They bought out. They weren't.
Right.
So what it was for them was a service. And then the jewelry buying customer looked like in our store looked nothing like this other person. So now I've discovered I have one of those Venn diagrams, and it goes, this person was walking in, I'm losing money or breaking even. They don't look like someone who's going to become one of the other Venn diagrams.
Mm-hmm.
So then why am I doing this? And if the answer is because I want to just provide a service, then that's called charity. That's
Mm-hmm.
fine, but treat it like a charity. And I didn't want to provide that charitable service. And so the team goes, we don't want to do this anymore. We're
Okay.
with you. So you answering your question, how do we know what to do? Guys, it starts with measuring
Mm-hmm.
and being very objective. And you and I have conversations every week with jewelers, one-on-one. And how many times where this might come up where we identify one of these kind of areas of the business and we go, why are you still doing this? Why do
Mm-hmm.
you still
Right.
carry that line? Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to phase it out eventually. Yeah, but why not just now?
Yeah.
And we go,
Yeah.
and they go, well, because, and we hear this as a regular thing. Well, measure it, gauge it, look at the profit dollars, look at the profile, and then really get real with yourself and go, if I'm not going to do this and make a profit, then it's charity. And
Mm-hmm.
is this where my charitable heart lives?
Right. And if it is charity, then treat it like so and work that angle.
Yeah.
Okay, one of the things that we did up at Jim Krishock Jewelers is we had the dilemma about watch batteries, and we did what you're talking about before I even knew to do it. And so we put a big bowl there, and we said all watch donations go to the Marathon County Humane Society. And people put in $20, they put in $40, they put in $50. Some people put in $2, $3, but we treated it like that. And we loved it because I mean our heart was for the Humane Society, many other causes, of course. Um, and people really liked that. People
Yeah.
really liked that. Yeah, our customers, meaning that. Um, so yeah, I mean that felt good, and I think I don't know if they're still doing that or what they're doing with watch batteries now, but that's a great way to look at that.
I want to go back to you asked about repairs in specific.
Yeah,
How do we convert that repair customer to a buying customer?
right, right. Do you profile them as well?
Yeah.
You know,
And it comes back to key questions that we ask as the salesperson.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
really, really critical. And I'm thinking kind of broadly, there's two ways I like to train on this. One is as we ask these key questions, we're asking about events, occasions, purpose. Why are you getting this repaired? How much do you wear this? Yada, yada. What we're
Hmm.
trying to ascertain is what's valuable to them, what other opportunities are coming up. Can we fix this with another product? We're troubleshooting the situation. If you just take
Yeah.
the repair in because they say, well, I need this part fixed. But here's a classic one. The shank broke because it's really thin. The bottom of the ring shank broke. It's
Yep.
really, really thin. I wear this all the time. I just want it soldered and fixed. If you as a salesperson took that in and just had it fixed, you could do that, and that would be under $100 probably, okay, for a
Right.
simple solder. But let's say you asked some key questions and you
Yeah.
found out this is their wedding ring. It's been inherited from them. They're coming up on a 25th anniversary. They wear it all the time. They really want something. They want to keep it special and preserve it. And she's getting really frustrated that it is getting so thin.
Hmm.
Now let's think about what she wants. She wants something that lasts forever. 25th anniversary is coming up. That's a milestone. This is inherited.
Yeah.
I have two solutions for you. One, we can reshank, take the whole bottom off, reshank it. Now it brings new life to it. That's a few
Hmm.
$100, but it's going to give you a lot more mileage. That just increased the repair, and it's a sizable increase, and she's going to be happier.
Right.
Or two, can I show you another idea? The thing is
Hmm.
getting very thin. Let me show you if I took this wedding band and this wedding band and I put it up here for your 25th, we
Hmm.
enhance your ring, we
Hmm.
preserve the middle, so that's it's the core of it, but we solder them all together so these two outside bands that can represent your 25th anniversary strengthens the core and it keeps the ring solid. Now the ring is thicker. We don't have to do a reshank. It's going to keep everything safe and secure. And I'll throw in the labor. Now I've just
Yeah.
sold two wedding bands with that ring, and she's just as
Sure.
happy, and we've given it meaning.
Right.
So,
That's yeah.
broadly speaking, I'm thinking, and how do you convert that repair? Asking those key questions. I'm kind of going one of two directions. One is, how do I get that repair to be a significant repair? If I just took it in and I charged under $100, that's nothing. Can I upsell the repair so that I regularly have five, $600, $1,000 repairs that I'm ringing up, and customers will pay for that because you're refurbishing their heirlooms.
Hmm.
The other pathway is, as I'm asking these key questions, would you be better served if we just buy a new product? If you're going to spend $1,000 on a repair, but you don't have significance in the piece, what if you just spent $800 or $1,000 on a brand new piece
Yeah.
or a
Right.
brand new part?
Yep.
And that may make them just as happy. So there's kind of two
Yeah.
ways to go with repairs
Sure.
instead of
But
just
it, but
looking
it,
at,
but it, the common denominator here is questions. And it's a lot of times we get into clerk mode and we rush because I got something else I'm working on that's a big thing, and this is just a stupid little shank solder. So I want to get this done, get this customer out the door so that I can get back working on that bigger thing or whatever.
yeah,
And um, so it starts with mindset, slowing down, asking questions, finding out what's important. I love that because, yeah, I mean, y- you can offer some amazing options that probably they might have been thinking about already.
yeah,
And one of the big questions we always get, you can attest to this, and everybody that's listening to this, I didn't know you guys could do it. Could you guys do that? Yeah, we can retip a prong. A lot of people don't know that we can do the simple, basic things that we do every day. Especially with our laser welders and things like that. So, um, that right there is a testament that I don't know if it's a testament, but I mean it's an example that people really need to have their minds open to what the options are, and that only starts with conversations
yeah.
and slowing down and not going right to the register and taking a picture and ringing that thing up.
Here's what I'll tell you guys listening, but here's what I don't think works is that if your assumption of taking that repair customer to a buying customer is, I took in your repair, let me show you a piece of jewelry today,
Right, right,
that will work a fraction of the time.
yeah,
And I'm not
4%.
telling you that that's not something you shouldn't do,
Yeah,
but I am saying that it's a little bit like shooting in the dark. So
right.
you'll hit the target sometimes where that Venn diagram you have, okay, they are in that jewelry buying segment. But what is much more effective is start with selling the piece that they brought into you. So is there an enhancement to this piece? Is there a companion piece to this piece? Again, selling repairs. I'm a big proponent that if you're going to be doing repairs in the store or selling them, sell repairs.
Sell
Have
repairs. Yep.
huge
Don't
tickets
clerk
come in.
them. Don't clerk them. Sell them.
Right.
Be the expert.
Define the
So
difference for everyone. You said don't clerk, but sell them. What do you mean?
clerking is running to the register and ringing it up and doing what you were taught to do and how to, the mechanics of it. Selling it is the conversation. It's the slowing down. It's the looking in the eye. It's the finding out what's important and listening for the opportunities. And listening. And when I say this, I don't want this to sound like it's pushy and aggressive. It's giving them what they ultimately want or didn't know they wanted, right?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's my long answer.
I want to bring this
I'm
home
never
on the
short, am
podcast.
I?
I want to bring this home to the podcast side of things because I feel like we need to do a couple trainings off of this. So here's what I'll say.
Get
I'm
these
going to go.
cattle in the barn.
Here's my Venn diagram. I just talked about batteries, repairs, jewelry sales. I even talked about gold buying, which we didn't talk a whole lot about on the podcast today. But I
No.
said those are four different segments of customers. They're different people, and sometimes they overlap in the middle, but not always. So identify who those people are and decide if it's really important for your business to be doing that. And I would also say converting customers to one or the others, deciding which of those diagrams on the Venn is more important to you. Okay. There's people we work with who are primarily repair stores, repair
Mm-hmm.
shops. Like they manufacture and fabricate their stuff. Okay.
By
And
the way,
in
you just
those
said stores, by the way.
stores, those stores, um, in those stores, they manufacture, they're fabricating a lot of stuff. So for them, they're probably going to be more repair heavy.
Yep.
And we want to make that super, super, super profitable for them. And then the other ones are secondary. But for most independent stores, jewelry sales is chief. That's where 80% of your stuff comes from, of your dollars. Spend most of your time on that.
Yep.
And I'm betting most of you are spending 80% or more of your time on the other areas of the business.
Right.
And
Yep.
if you are, you need to start thinking about what am I going to stop doing? Because I'm
Okay.
spending most of my time in areas that are not valuable. And one of the ways to simply convert those customers in those other segments to jewelry buying customers is by saying, I'm no longer going to service the customer who doesn't kind of fit that profile. And it's not a punishment to anyone other than just you saying, I have to, in order for me to be excellent, I have to decide what I'm going to be excellent in. So
Yeah.
I think it's just a bit of
Yeah.
a self-assessment y'all should do to say, if we want to convert more of those into buying customers, well, we should be looking at only those people who would actually want to be buying customers, you know?
Yep. We've done dozens of these podcasts, folks, so we are no strangers to this podcasting world. And I know we did one on that. When to quit. Um, when to say, oh,
Yeah.
here it is. Knowing when to say enough, the art of quitting in business.
Hmm.
It's a 19-minute podcast. It's podcast number 38. So if you want to go ahead and listen to that, it's not about quitting your business. It's a knowing what to quit.
Yeah.
And speaking to what you were just saying there. So, all right. Um, boy, okay. So now I got a bunch of little rabbit trails we're going to go on for the next podcast.
Uh, well,
Provided
everybody,
we're all,
we're gonna be doing training on our platforms about this subject and helping your sales teams upsell repairs. And I'd love to even do something from management, the management side about how to help them guide their teams along. Go to trainretail.com. You can look at our subscription services where we are offering you the ability to train your people and yourselves every single week, very, very
Mhm.
low cost. And we're just building on the very foundations that we're setting here in the podcast. So go to trainretail.com, check them out. It is well worth your money. I promise you that.
Yep. And as part of that platform, it requires a plane ride over from Wisconsin to New Mexico. We are going to create a kind of repairs 101 tutorial video to show people how to write up repairs, how they're basically done. Um, so we don't exactly know what that all looks like, but we know it's really needed in the industry, so we're going to
Yeah.
make it. So look for that. And if you're not a subscriber to our Train Retail Weekly platform, you're gonna pay for it. But if you're a subscriber, then I think you're gonna get that in there free. So anyhow, more on that as that comes around. So thank you, Kyle. Now head off to the air races with your family. Bring your earphones, bring your earplugs,
Mm,
right?
that's right. Be loud. Bye, everybody.
All right. report next time. We want to hear how fun it was. So
We hope you leave this episode a little better than when you first began. If you'd like more resources to grow your business slow, steady, and consistently, check out our on-demand video catalog at trainretail.com. Or if you have a question or frustration we can help address in your business, write to us about it. We love to help solve big, ugly problems. So hit us up at kyle@trainretail.com or jimmy@trainretail.com. Good luck out there, and we will see you next time.